So in this video, we're going to have a look at how to fletch a feather rather than a vane. So very similar, just a few little tweaks in how we actually apply the feather onto the arrow. So what we have here is an X27 indoor arrow. So this is what I'll be shooting with in indoor competitions that are outside of World Archery. So we still have our Bitzenburger jig. I've already prepped this arrow, so it's already had an acetone coating and a zip strip to clean off the bits of fletches. If you're not sure how to do that, you can look back at our previous video on how to fletch an arrow with vanes. So what I'm going to do is place this into the jig, like so. I've actually given it a little bit more offset, so I've adjusted these two screws here to angle the clamp in a bit more. So to do that, you're just going to put an Allen key into these two screws here. There's a little line just above the dial. It'll show you how much adjustment you've got there. Now it's adjusted, I'm going to put my my feather back in the clamp. I'm just going to give it a quick check by eye to make sure when I put it on that there's actually enough arrow contacting the base of the feather. So if you put on too much offset, you can angle the feather or fletch so much that only the middle is going to contact the arrow and the two ends will kind of hang off the side, which isn't going to give you very good adhesion. So you just want to make sure that's all lined up on the arrow first. Why would we use a feather? Traditional arrows, if you're shooting with a longbow or a horsebow, something off the shelf without an arrow rest, you definitely want a feather. Your hard vane's just going to bounce off that surface. Indoor archery, they're very popular. I've shot feathers on my indoor recurve arrows, my indoor compound arrows for years now. They're very forgiving. Outdoors you can run into a bit of trouble because obviously if it rains or we have issues with weather, they can be a little bit temperamental, but indoor they're really, really good. So the benefit with a feather is that we don't actually have to use glue to put it on. You can, but the easier way is to use feather tape. So it comes in a little roll like this. This is a bear paw feather fletching tape. So it's just double-sided tape will roll off like so. And I'm just going to place the top of that on the top of the feather. And then bring that down to the base. So you can see all I've done there is just take the feather tape and run it along the base of the vane like so. Just grab some scissors, trim off the excess up the top, the bottom. So you can see now there's just a little bit of overhang on top of the feather to the clamp. Now what we're going to do is use our nails to find the edge of that double-sided tape, peel it off. Seat that onto the arrow. A little bit of pressure to make sure you've got the tape fully touching the arrow. Pull off the clamp. Run your finger along it, make sure it's got full adhesion. That's it. So you don't have to wait for the glue to dry. It's a very, very easy way to fletch feathers, so I'd recommend it over glue just because of the time-saving ability. It is very strong, so I shoot feather tape off my compound arrows, so I've never had issues with feathers coming off. Anyone who shoots spin wings will know how useful a double-sided tape is, so don't worry too much about it's not going to hold or it's not going to come, it's not going to stay on the arrow. If it's not staying attached to the arrow, it's probably just because you didn't clean it properly beforehand, so make sure to acetone and go through all those steps properly. The other thing we'll do with this is we'll top and tail it as well, which is why we still have the glue here. So I'm just going to put a little bead of glue on the base of the feather, a little bead at the top of the feather. Same as I said in the last video regarding vanes, this is just going to help our feather to not lift up at the top or the bottom. If we have a pass through a target or another arrow comes in and clips it slightly, just gives you a bit more life out of your feathers. Very easy to do. That's how to fletch an arrow with feathers on a Bitzenburger jig. If you've got any questions, you can send them into elizararchery.com.